had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the sunrise.
If there was a scene from a movie that you played in this, like you've done a couple times in the past, it would be the little button at the end of The Cable Guy. Have you ever seen Cable Guy?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, Matthew Broderick, directed by Ben Stiller. And I don't think there's any spoilers here, but at the end, the climax breaks the satellite dish, the dish that like beams cable to the places that get it into your homes, and everybody's TV goes out. They're basically like do a montage of everybody like watching cable, flipping through the dial, and it goes out. And all of a sudden they go, I think a couple households, I can't remember if it was like, hey babe, do you want to go for a walk? Yeah. The girl picks up a book and starts reading. Like people return to like a recognizable, satisfying, soul-fulfilling life.
Human existence.
And so you talking about, like, did you, hopefully this doesn't extend this too much. I believe, and I did not read this, I don't know 100% for sure if this was something I read because someone was trying to get views or if it's an actual thing. But YouTube, I believe it's YouTube, is going to not allow monetization or demonetize channels that are all AI based.
Really?
If they are AI voiceover, AI imagery and all that, and it's obviously just an AI fabricated video, they're going to not allow that channel to be monetized. And if that is true, it is because, and I forget what the theory or what the example is, but this is terrible that I don't remember this, but I think it's something in just biological systems. Like if you introduce something to an environment, it like will eat itself into extinction. And not literally, but
like dead internet theory almost? Like
possibly, yeah.
Bot, like you have enough NPCs or bots, once it reaches 51%, then it's just a slow, you might as well put the timer on until it eats itself.
Well, and I think this is like, if you give everyone the tools to make content, cameras, microphones, all that, then you give them AI, and there's literally no barrier to just making slop. They're going to flood your platform with so much crap,
lowest common denominator,
that all of the people that were there because of the value it once provided, now it provides none. You just killed your platform.
Well, that's the problem with, like message boards and
right.
Like, I mean, there's actually, there are like well-known examples of internet message boards where that was the issue. Like,
I know what it was.
It slowly begins to eat itself.
Yep.
It's like, I'd never want to, the joke, like I'd never want to be a part of a club that allows me as a member.
Yeah.
Where it's like, like the only way to grow is to lower the standard.
Yep. It was something with a cobra, the city,
the snake that eats itself.
The city, no, it was like the city had an issue with rats, so they like introduced cobras, but then I can't remember.
That's a terrible idea. It seems like
cobra allegory. I'm gonna have to find this, but. Anyway, the Cobra effect. Is that what it is? Sorry, this is like where attempts to solve a problem end up making it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Cobra effect, and I forget the story behind what it was.
Interesting.
A bounty regarding they made a bounty for dangerous snakes, right? They created a bounty system. So if you kill a cobra, you get X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, then they went, well, we can make a shitload of money if we go out to the rainforest and get a bunch of cobras and keep flooding it with cobras. Yeah. Then we just keep killing them and making more money. And so that is the concern with YouTube is if you make content and it gets views, you're going to make money. So, and again, I don't know if this is for sure a thing or if I read something that was bullshit. So that's not good on me. But I heard that they were going to demonetize AI-based content.
That'd be good.
so that it doesn't ruin YouTube.
I mean, YouTube has already gotten so literally everything. And at this point, I just go in with the expectation like this is going to be trash in a couple of years. Like literally every platform that I'm on, I'm just like, this is gonna like. Now I even I try to have the conscious thought before I adopt any platform of, can I just do this better with like a pen and paper?
Right. Yeah.
Like, is there just is there a better way to do this?
Yep.
Because like this is gonna be shit in 5 years. I just, and maybe it's not, but.
And I'm like so hopeful that people that have a voice or something to say or a soul to the work that they want to make, that somehow there will be enough of that, or they'll get so tired of all the crap that they're
I just don't know if that happens on
make
YouTube,
their own stuff. I don't know either. It could be a different platform. It could be and that's the other thing. It could be like, let's not make YouTube the best version of it that I want.
Yeah.
Let's go start our own thing, because fuck this place. This place is dead.
I think at this point, though, it's like I'm tired of the let's go start our own thing. Even like, because all of that just sinks into
it's attract and extract. You start it with a mission.
It's like, shit,
it's something now.
This is
now
the
let's
new
extract
and
from
that. Now it's so hard to get the network effect because people are just like, oh no, this is the new thing. It's doing it better. It's like, no, they're not. It's like, don't bother me.
Right.
Don't waste my time.
And we've seen that with social media platforms that have tried to like create a better version.
Yeah.
I don't know if Clubhouse is the best example, but I feel like there have been some photo sharing apps.
Look at what's happening
out
right now with Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Like Blue Sky, Jack Dorsey started Blue Sky because of how co-opted Twitter got.
Right.
And it was like an antidote to, and this was before he sold it, I believe. Like when I say how bad Twitter got, that's not like a political statement. It's literally just Twitter got. There were advertisers who were like, "Look, you're not allowed to show certain content," and then that created rifts, and then you start to like now the opposite of that is okay. Take some of those guide rails off, and that's created its own new set of horseshit, and now just nobody. It's just like hard to use, and a lot of people still use it, but it's just hard to use. And then Dorsey created Blue Sky as like an antidote to that, and then because Twitter had gotten co-opted by its shareholders,
right,
and lost its. I mean, he's a very like decentralized, like kind of
advocate,
grand vision of the original vision of the internet kind of guy, and so creates Blue Sky, and then it gets co-opted by its shareholders, and he leaves it and literally disowns it.
Yep.
And now the new management or what have turned it into this thing, and they're like, this is Twitter but better, and it's just the opposite political ideology of Twitter with all the same problems, and people don't recognize that. But it's like, it was supposed to be this new platform, and they started with the mission of falling into the trap of it's going to turn into shit eventually,
the soulless tool of extraction.
Like we're not learning any lessons, and that's, every new platform is just, it promises to be all of these things, and then it just falls into the same pit of mud.
And if something does get made more from an artistic or soulful perspective, someone at some point co-ops it. And I'm sure there are examples of artists or things artists created. Whether it was a business or a platform or whatever it was, that sort of like made it. Like it didn't fall prey.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, Bob Ross.
You talk about music or what?
Big time.
Bob Ross.
Yeah, throw on some Bob Ross.
Ken Burns. I was watching Ken Burns. I mean, I always watch Ken Burns, but Ken Burns it feels like he didn't really get co-opted.
Yep.
I mean, there's plenty, and there's like, even like we sit here and complain about movies and about this and the content, and all content is like this. We're being hyperbolic. There's a lot of great stuff out there.
Yes.
I think both of us would agree.
100%.
And part of me wonders, is it just the amount of it that's different? There's just a lot of it, and so it's harder to find. But
yeah, I think especially on social, YouTube, shorts platforms, short form content platforms, you got to sort through a lot of noise. It's trying to find the Bruce Springsteen concert T-shirt in a warehouse with 40 million pieces of clothing.
Yeah.
Versus going to the vintage shop where the guy curated the whole collection. It's in, downtown Spokane, Washington, and you can walk in and have your pick of a pretty good choice of those things.
Yeah.
And you're going to pay a price for it.
Do you remember curated, like the guys who would literally curate, I'm thinking like YouTube pre-2010.
Mm-hmm.
And there were actually channels that every day or every week they would get 3 or 4 of the best videos on the internet.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like, that concept just sounds insane today. They were literally the vintage shop, though, for like YouTube.
Yeah.
And you would go into their
curation,
channel,
that word.
and then they would show you like 3 or 4 things that was super cool.
That's right.
Or they
Editors'
thought was
picks,
cool. Yeah.
Employees' picks, at the video rental store, all that stuff.
That's your play with this. You just go back to making the pre-2010 videos of.
Well, and
I found 4 videos this week.
The hope is that some of the people that create that potential counterculture on YouTube look to old YouTube to go, man, there's some cool shit.
Some of it's not even
YouTube.
Up there anymore, though. Like, I found that more and more. Old podcasts, like pre-2014.
Yeah.
It's just hard to find now. People, they don't pay the server upkeep, or it just gets completely buried. It's tough to find.
Yeah.
You still find like your occasional like 15-year-old videos, like they're always popping up in the algorithm.
The Internet Archive, you can sometimes get stuff back then. It's hard with video content.
It's just, and like that's part of the reason why everybody seems to have selective amnesia these days about what they remember, because literally our world, quote unquote, only goes back like 10 years.
I know. But what's interesting is I feel like, and I don't want to start a whole other thread because I know we're pretty late.
We're at 120. Do we keep going and split into 2 parts, or do we just try to wrap it up pretty soon?
Well, I was going to start talking about this idea, and you can decide if you want to go down this, but this idea that back to what we talked about with ontology and all that, it's staring at the blank page of the future is so difficult, terrifying, uninspiring, whatever you want to call it.
Intimidating. Yeah.
That we want to search through the bins of old shit.
The bins of the past.
To try to find something. It's me. I go to the thrift store. I go to vintage markets, whatever. I mean, I just bought a Jurassic Park t-shirt. It's like I'm so confused and blank about what's coming that I'm going to just like almost literally bury my head in the sand and just look through all the old shit to find the thing that's cool, fun, inspiring, whatever, and I don't know if like the blank page of the future is like me sitting there going, what's coming next, or trying to make the thing that's coming next, whether it's through my channel, artwork, photography, whatever.
Or even just this idea that I do think progress is important, but like the idea that there has to be something coming next, is kind of
and not even that something's coming next, but just sort of like a feeling of where things are headed, or that like the design work or what you're doing is sort of, I don't know, future forward maybe, versus give me this camcorder, give me these old clothes. I'm gonna go through the bins of the past to find the things that inspired and make what I'm making now. I'm working through this for the first time. I just kind of had this thought actually on the drive over, so this is not fully.
I think
baked.
we're doing part 1, part 2, to be honest.
But there's just something fascinating to me about, as a culture, it feels like, and again, I'm paying attention to a sliver of the broader culture. I'm in that world right now, both in the physical world and the digital world. But there's just something fascinating to me about how much of a fascination there is with nostalgia. I mean, I just went and saw Superman today. The theme from 1978 was in the movie. I saw Jurassic Park with the kids, there's all that. And then I'm wearing old Wranglers, an old Bruce Springsteen shirt. I'm messing around with old tech. Like,
Matt looks like he's scratching like crazy too.
Yeah, I know. I'm not.
He got attacked by a rabid gang of chiggers.
Yeah, I did. Mowed my yard on last week, and these chickers went crazy.
I just didn't want people being like,
itching.
"Oh yeah, he's on. He's coked up."
It's coked up, coming down, buddy. You got a little, need a little bump there. Yeah, I've got chiggers, man. They're horrible.
Yeah, that's like what you were exploring, like.
Or going backwards, like you with the dumb phone, you know, and you were just talking about how Apple's never going to make the form factor of the iPhone SE or which one you have, the smaller iPhone, the iPhone Mini. Like it's just all about stuff from backward to me.
I still get excited about new things. I mean, for sure. It's just there's an infinite archive of things that I can discover in the past.
And
there's only a couple of new things that come out every year. Like that are actually worth, you know, again, getting back to that, like how wonderful it is to be alive and like not just overwhelming your experience with nonsense. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there's something to be said about like some things just take time, but also there is like just in the quality of the certain things that I like films or like there are great films that have come out this year and last year and the year before, and there are great books and there's like great music. There's always an exception, mm-hmm. but I can go back and find. There's no such thing as new movies and old movies. There's mm-hmm. just movies that I've seen and movies that I haven't.
Yeah,
like that kind of. That's the energy. I can go back and discover all these things. And then there's also just, you know, we have a very hyper-focused culture where the only thing that's relevant or worth doing is the thing that is in vogue right now. And there's a lot of things that I enjoy doing that aren't in vogue right now. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, maybe, like, you know, using a typewriter, handwriting something, or smoking a pipe, or I don't know, like having a conversation with your buddy, or like,
right,
I don't know, like, and again, everybody's got a different collection of interests, but I think there's nothing wrong with looking back. We just happen to live in a generation where it is very easy to look back.
And that's what I was
like. You can go back and find all of this stuff. I mean, part of it is just, you know, we've really only been in the hyper commercial America for 20 or 75 years.
Well, and then internet America, internet hyper commercial America, where there's literally an online documentation of everything we've done since 1994. I mean, and so I think we as a species, part of our humanity is treasuring things from the past, looking back on the past fondly. You know, you don't immediately recall all of the stress or frustration that you had when you went and saw Jurassic Park in 1993.
I also think people have co-opted the future to sell it to us. Like, think about tech. Like how tech has kind of co-opted the idea of the future and constant progress and turned it into, like, they co-opted this beautiful idea that is universal and that is this, you know, has this humanistic core to it. Mm-hmm. And this societal core to it, and they co-opted it and turned it into money, spend money on our products.
Right.
You got, the future is here. The future is coming. You know, we're building the future. We're creating the future. They market it. They turn it to slop.
Right.
And so, the pendulum swings, and people say, "Fuck your idea of the future. I'm going back to this quote unquote past where I can pretend that this wasn't the case." Well, I think that's a little bit of a revolt.
Yeah. I think the thing that I was driving at or wondering is, does our tendency to just sort of live fondly with our memories and the nostalgia of something, an experience, a time in our life, combined with the fact that the internet is there as literally like the bins at a thrift store that we can sift through to try to find things that are representative of something from our past, of a time in our life that was simpler, was less stressful, even though all of that was there at the time. We remember only, the better parts of it. Mm-hmm. And it is that odd combination of this internet archive of the last 30 plus years combined with just a human tendency to look fondly toward the past, to love those moments of potent and powerful nostalgia when it comes up. I mean, I literally listened to the Superman theme in the Superman movie, and I'm like, this movie's fine. It's okay. Play that song, tears, like I get all emotional from it because it makes me feel like I'm, 14 again watching that movie and listening to that score. And, as far as the future goes or the present, there's also a perception of like the quality isn't as good. I mean like tangible quality, like the t-shirts are shit, or, the cars aren't as, everything's just been cheapened up, or shrinkflation, or cheap, shitty ingredients that scientifically replicate the old flavor for the most part, but really aren't as good. So we just constantly are like, remember when oranges used to taste good? Remember when a bag of Doritos was 24 ounces and you paid $2 for it, and there was like a shit ton of cheese dust on every goddamn chip? And so we're just like fixated on the past because with hindsight, you're just like, it was better back then. And that's an illusion to a certain extent, but you feel that way.
Yeah.
So that blank page.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I would challenge that a little bit. I love old stuff, but I don't feel like it was better in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is probably the best time to be alive. I mean, it's really...
And people say that all the time,
it's
right?
It's super easy to sit here and be like, oh, it's the best time to be alive. Well, what about these 3 bad things?
Well, and then
it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, corporations have gotten, like, there's, there are problems there. And, like, there are problems, like, but at the same time, like, a lot of the things that I enjoy, I'm like, there's no other timeline where that's my life.
Right.
It's just not possible.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I'll sit and I'll like complain about certain things, or like, oh, like this happened at work and I don't like that. And then I'm like, your granddad literally fucking like painted houses for his entire life.
Yeah.
Like, and it fucked him up. Mm-hmm. Like that was like his life.
Yeah. Breathing paint fumes and
to provide for
scraping lead paint off of old houses. And
it's like, oh man, I didn't like what happened when this email got sent, and I was upset for 13 minutes, and then I watched YouTube videos. It's like I don't know, like I do like, I don't know, I'm not gonna complain. Like I feel like things are good. And like I want to go to a different part of the world. Okay, you can do that. Yeah. I want to buy this thing. Okay, well, we have this world marketplace on the internet where you can pretty much find anything you want. Oh, I want to completely unplug from everything. Yeah. Okay, well, do you want to do that? Yeah, you can do that if you want. Yeah. Like, do you want to live like it's 1863? You can do that. Yeah. And you can be like, well, no, you can't. It's like, no, well, you could. You just have to actually live like it was, like figure it out. Like, there's sacrifices, but for the most part, yeah, you could do that.
And I wonder if some would argue that the ease of all of that, obviously going back and living like it's 1880 is not it's easy to do, but once you're doing it, it's not an easy life. It's difficult. But this goes to that, the whole concept of comfort and how easy things are, how much technology and companies and all that stuff have created tools that make life very easy to live. Mm-hmm. Air conditioning, everything.
Like that's crazy.
And that lack of is that lack of discomfort in our lives part of something that informs us to look backward? And maybe again, you have to kind of reach a certain point. Although I don't know. I see a lot of young people that are just like interested in old shit. But are we too comfortable? And that's another factor in my perception of everybody having a higher interest in the past than I've ever recalled in my life. Maybe I'm paying attention in different ways. Obviously, it's very subjective, but that's interesting to me.
Well, it's
too.
like, it's also how exciting is the future?
Yeah.
I think there's a real issue with how exciting is the future. Like we talked last time we talked about, or I guess a couple episodes ago, we talked about like decentralized culture and just these ideas of. But when you lose when you go into decentralized culture, you lose a common cultural core. You lose a collective story.
That's right.
And when you lose
collective experiences, many of us are like,
that you
this
can
thing
relate
or that
to,
thing. Right?
And it really harms,
isolates.
Yeah, it harms your sense of belonging.
Right.
And so, yeah, we can sit and talk like, yeah, it's a really good thing that, these things are fragmenting and like there's not two networks that control all of the information flow and that people can be interested in the things that they're interested in. But then you also sit here and you say, okay, we're losing our myths, we're losing our stories, we're losing our common languages and our ability to empathize and things like that. And those are these issues that are popping up. And I think that is all kind of combining to create this scenario where the future's not that exciting, or maybe the future's not even imaginable to people. Like you've got people that are in so much, student loan debt or whatever, they have no future.
Right. That's,
like there is no like, oh, well, I'm going to do this and this. Like the future, the idea, like there is no future, there is no past. There's, and it's cliche, but it's like, there is no future, there's no past.
I'm just surviving the present
right now. That's all. And so these are just ideas. And when you think of the idea of the future, it builds on this like hope or this desire that, there's going to be some sort of like a linear progression from the state that you're in now. There's going to be a state change where you go from state 1 to state 2. And I think there's some people where it's like there've been decisions that have been made for them because of contemporary society that have kind of pulled that idea where the only state change that's imaginable is a negative state. Like it's linear in the wrong direction. And so when that happens, you don't have any conception of the future. Like the future is a lost idea to you. And then add that to the fact that, the future as a concept has been co-opted by like, we're bringing you the future in our phone or our, fucking internet is the future. Google Fi is the future.
These things that we're realizing keep us more isolated are the big things that we're seeing about the future. Yeah. Is AI, is better, faster internet, is the Apple Vision Pro. Like, is any of this unifying us or giving us experiences together?
Like when the iPhone came out, like the future felt inevitable. Yeah. The future felt like it was this meteor hurtling through space and we were all just on it. Yeah. And now the future feels like it's traffic. It's inconvenient. The future is annoying. And there's a problem there. You're not going to escape this ontological idea of, moving, like going back to the past if that is our vision of the future. Yeah. I think that's the problem we need to solve. It's not who's going to reach super intelligence first. It's who's going to figure out how to reframe what it means to strive for a greater future. Right. That's the roadblock to society. It's not AGI right now. Yeah. but that's all you're going to hear about. AGI and virtual reality and
stuff
the Beast games.
Well,
season 2.
And if that's the case, is it, again, we're being driven in that direction because we buy more shit when we're in that state.
This is just I hate how negative this is. Like, I feel like we've been on like a 2-hour just
fuck Mr. Beast and fuck commerce,
this and fuck this
buying
and
shit.
I don't like being this negative, because I think you can listen to this and leave it with a very, what do we do?
Right.
And it's like, I don't know the answer. I don't necessarily think it's a negative thing.
I think it's just about mapping. It's sort of like, let's get a greater awareness of what's going on around us so that it either validates our instincts for what we are doing or what we want to do, or it helps us change direction drastically, slightly, whatever it is, to navigate the map of what it is that's out there. And asking questions. Why does it seem like part of the monoculture right now that I am experiencing and think many others are, seems very rooted and steeped in the past and nostalgia and going quote unquote backwards from getting off the internet, staying away from some of these technological advancements, getting more quote unquote primitive.
I hate to use this analogy, but it's almost like did you ever play when I was a kid and I play some of these games?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd get a game that was really difficult. And do you remember like save points?
Yes.
Like absolutely. Where you would save it and then you'd create the file and it'd be like 0.3.0 dot whatever.
Oh yeah.
So did you ever get to a place in a game where you got far enough in the game that you just couldn't beat that level?
Yeah.
And you said, all right, fuck this. And so you go back to an earlier save point.
Screw around, yeah.
And just fuck around because it's fun.
That's a great analogy. Yeah, because I know what this is. Whereas
I'm going to have a little bit of fun re-experience. I'm going to have more fun re-experiencing this than the frustration and hopelessness that I'm getting from this.
Right. Tapping back into the positive experience I had, even if there was obstacles to overcome and some difficulty, it wasn't impossible, and I deem this impossible. And I know it's a techie analogy, but well, sometimes, I'd be like, look, if I'm going to beat this level, I'm not going to go online and look up how to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to basically cheat. Like, I should be able to figure this out. And, maybe I need time away from it, and then I'll figure it out. But yeah,
and a lot of times what would happen, and maybe hopefully the analogy extends this far, because this is a beautiful positive tie-in, is a lot of times what would happen is you'd play through and get back to that point, and you'd have a new context or a new fresh eyes. Yep. And you'd go right through it.
Yeah, you'd be like, man, it was so obvious.
So maybe that's where we are. Maybe we have to go back to go forward.
Could be something. Yeah, we gotta go back to that earlier save point and fuck around for 10 years or so.
Get here with some fresh eyes
to come back and be like, yeah. I think that summarizes, not to make this about me, but it summarizes tapping into these things from the past on my channel, because I'm like, I'm kind of dissatisfied with where it is, where I think it's going. I'm gonna go fuck around with all this old shit and like go out in the real world and like hang out with people and meet people and all these new people in my life from doing it. Now I've got a better idea of what to do. I kind of know what I got my head around what I'm doing. I'm still going to fuck around with this stuff a little bit, but yeah, this is all going to be better. And I know, I see it now. Yeah. I think that's fair to say. So are we as a culture sort of consciously, subconsciously making those choices because we don't see it? We got to go to that earlier save point.
Yeah.
Fucking just climb that,
mess around for a little bit, jump some turtles, find that shit behind the waterfall or whatever, and then come back and do it a little differently. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
The video game save point.
I mean, yeah, it feels like it could be
Yeah.
where we're at.
I wonder if there's instances in the past where people feel like they did that, like.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure that there's no way this is a new experience. Some of the ability
the classic
to tap
midlife
in
crisis is to me the perfect example.
Yeah.
Like especially like 40-year-old males acquiring things or doing things, that pick up where they had left off when things went on a different path or, whatever. Certainly have made jokes about the things I've done in the last few years as part of a midlife crisis. I think it's more of, I only have so much time left. When I was doing stuff earlier, I felt like I had all the time in the world. That perception is now shrunk. So I don't see what's going to happen. Now I'm really going to tap into this stuff from the past to figure it out. And that looks like a midlife crisis. And, in a sense it is, we've talked about that before, though, that shift in your perception of time from how you perceive of it when you're in your mid-20s into your 30s. And then if, marriage, kids, all these adult things, the things that you saw your parents do come in, and then you're like, I don't really have like 15 years left to like really do serious work. Yeah. Especially like as an employee or something.
Oh, no. It really hits
like,
when...
Holy shit.
Like, I
go buy a Corvette. I'm gonna...
And like, I can totally relate to that. Like, what really killed me is like looking at old photos of my dad.
Yeah, right.
And thinking like, oh my God, this was like I haven't been around for that long.
Right.
He was my age in these photos. Yeah. And then I was a thing.
Yep.
And now he's gone.
Yeah.
And then you really start like that many years. Shit.
That's right.
This is,
Clock's
and then
ticking.
That's obviously not even like taking into account that we could walk out of here and some shit could happen or anything could happen at any time. And while I don't think you should be afraid of that. It does kind of, right. Yeah. You're like, you know what? Do I actually does a Corvette sound fun?
Right.
All right, fuck it. Let's get the Corvette.
Let's go.
Yep. I'm only going to get to do this one time for all I know.
That's right.
Like, who knows? Like,
Send it.
It could be the greatest thing. Like, you might, who knows? Reincarnate a different soul. Who knows? Like, nobody can answer that. But what I can answer right now is like, a Corvette sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
Let's fucking send it. Because why not?
And I know.
Like, I want to do X, Y, and Z with my life.
Yeah.
Okay. Who cares? Like, do it then or don't.
And it's a known quantity. I know if I go get that thing or do that thing, go to that place I lived in the past, whatever it is, I can with some certainty know what to expect and what to feel. Whereas, all right, I can see what's ahead. I have an idea of what I should do. I have no idea what it's going to be like or how it's going to turn out. Well, let's go do this thing that's a little bit more of a known quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I wonder if that stuff intensifies as culture decentralizes and monoculture dissolves.
Well, we have to... I started reading Jung's Red Book, and I don't know how much you know about it, but it's like... I guess if I had to give a description based on what I know so far, it's like his journey into the depth. Like they say, like when you look off into the darkness, you either like lose yourself or you
find yourself,
or and it's kind of him dealing with that. Like, oh, I'm gonna like stare into the depths of my soul and try to, and the depths of like meaninglessness, and I'm going to try to pull meaning out of it.
Right,
and
right.
Like, I'm either going to lose myself in the meaninglessness as I've just started it like last night.
Yep.
Literally couldn't have been And I've been really obsessed with like myths and like the Inferno or like Paradise Lost, or I've been reading like the King James Bible, and just like going through different like stories and myths and journeys and things like that. And you and I talk about Jung all the time, and I've been reading that more this year. And you know, aside from the video game, like I think there's a very real thing where culture has, like we're trying to figure out what the how to move forward from postmodern existence.
Right. Yep.
And you know, I talked a lot about David Foster Wallace in the past, and he has this idea of like this new sincerity, and you see that in his works, and especially developed even further in his later works. Like, how do you deal with this just like meaninglessness, and like how do you contend with that? And okay, like if everything's ironic, then irony means nothing, and it's just the world is cold and dark and empty. And so I that's these are the questions that we need to figure out as a society. Yeah. And you know, it's Jung staring into the meaningless, and like, can you find meaning? Can you create a new, like, we almost have to have some kind of a collective story. We're just meant to. It's how we're programmed, I think. And so it's like, does it have to be co-opted by an institution? No. But that doesn't mean we don't need the collective, the power of a collective story or a collective identity or something. Like, you know, two of the most powerful collective, you know, ideas ever. Like you know, there's a couple of camps here, but one of the camps is like what brought the downfall of like the Roman Empire, the most powerful empire in the history of the world up until today. I mean, yes, there's like institutional corruption and all of these things, but it was the idea of Christianity that kind of like, you know, Paul and Paul's disciples, and like this idea. And, you know, I'm not talking about the institution of Christianity. Right. I'm talking about the idea that divinity was available to all humans.
Right. Just that concept alone.
There was no, oh, well, this person was born in a certain group, so he is more predisposed. Yeah. And that concept brought down an empire. Yeah. Oh, and with enough time. Like, that was just an idea.
Well, the democratization of divinity, right?
And then, yeah, exactly. And I was thinking about this, and like America was the next great, like the democratization of like
freedom and liberty and pursuit of happiness.
And yeah, and you can be like, oh, well, you could totally be like, well, the church has caused more problems. It's like, that's an institution. Right. You could be like, well, the United States that's an institution. Right. The ideas though are like, and we need that like next iterate. Like now the thing that we're contending with is just this meaninglessness.
But then, you know, I go back to the century of the self, and is it just the hyper individualization, hyper self-focused, hyper self-interest that it's just...
We are tying this together, so this is unplanned, but like...
Self-reliance.
Like, well, so yeah, like this has been on the table since we started. Yeah. I didn't know we were going to go here. And I've been like, yes, I think there is like a self-interested, like...
Just like
there's a negative.
I'm gonna extract the resources from existence that allow me to do what I need to get done.
But I almost think that is like that century of the self idea is this like self-reliance, or like the idea of like the individuality of the person being divine or next to divine or genius or whatever, is closer to the idea of, you know, Jesus Christ, or the idea of America. Right. And then the century of the self is the institution that corrupted that idea.
Right. Right.
Like, I don't think
that said, hey, there's a real opportunity here.
Yes.
We can take everything that's going on and we can make a shitload of money.
Yeah, it's like, the answer,
we can gain a shitload of power.
The answer might be there. Like, it could be there. Yeah. That the answer to this meaninglessness could be in the idea of the self. It just has been,
and maybe it's in the decentralization and the the deconsolidation of those institutions of power.
Once you can no longer co-opt it, then it's just...
If we feel, as the meaningless is the source of sort of a powerlessness.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna give you this.
A lack of self-reliance. Like, yeah, I can like buy my groceries and get my car washed and I can watch Netflix, but what can I do beyond that?
Self-reliance like goes beyond the idea of like you think self-reliance in terms of like relying on yourself for like a physical thing.
I think of it as not depending on external things to thrive.
Yeah. I mean, like just a couple. Like I won't read all in. I'm going to give this to you because I've got several copies. And then maybe we just this would be a great season 3 opener, maybe.
Sure.
But like just a couple of these. To believe your own thought. To believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all men. That is genius. Familiar as the voice of the mind as is to each, the highest merit we ascribe to Moses, Plato, and Milton is that they set not books and traditions and spoke not what men, but what they thought. In every work of genius, we recognize our own rejected thoughts.
Say that second one again, just real quick.
Is that they set at naught books and tradition and spoke not what men, but what they thought.
And that's where earlier we talked about homogenization. I'm not going to toe the line and just sort of fall into rank. I have my own thing to say here, and I'm going to go against what everybody else is doing. Well,
and you go back to the 70s or something. Like I think about this a lot. Like we were at a bar in Key West last year, and I was just like, man, this place was probably a completely different vibe of a place before. Because when we were there, everybody was just on their cell phones. And I was like, what was this place like when that didn't exist? Like everybody was just their own personality. They'd been dicking around in the Keys for some people 40 years, some people a couple of days, and they're just all meeting at this place. And we've lost that a little bit.
Ideas and what if, and like staring at the blank page and figuring it out.
Listen to this. This is a good one too. There's so, I mean, I literally think this whole thing would be highlighted if I could, but, else tomorrow a stranger will say, with masterly good sense, precisely what we have thought and felt all the time, and we shall be forced to take with shame our own opinion from another.
Yep.
You're just like, yep.
Tell me what to think. Lost one. Your angle's down.
Wah, wah. Well then, I'll just give this to you. We can discuss this at a different time.
Little teaser for season 3.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We've gone all around in a circle, but I do think it's easy to think. Maybe it's a pleasant idea to think that you have to go back to go forward.
Yeah.
It had been a golden afternoon, and I remember having the familiar conviction that life was beginning over again with the sunrise.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.